How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Quick live today. Well, not quick live. I'll be alive as long as I can. Um, However, I did want to pop in and say hello to everybody. And also, just kind of get into today's topic discussion, which is the Google Pixel 8a. And this is a really, really good phone. And of course, I am going to be saying goodbye to it at the end of the month, as my dad's Pixel, his Pixel 6a, just literally the battery just got swollen on it, so it's not it's not going to, it's not safe for him to use, if I could be honest. So yeah, just wanted to jump in this. It's the weekend, Sunday, last day of the weekend. The work week's about to start again tomorrow. My kids are going back to school, so you guys might hear them being loud. They're enjoying the last day of fall break before it's back to the everyday monotony of, getting up early and going to school and whatnot. Of course, they don't get like another break until towards the end of next month, November, towards Thanksgiving, and then they get a pretty decent break, for winter, 2 weeks off school. Yeah, so the holidays are here upon us and everything like that. Um, I am excited for the end of the month. I get to go see my dad, which is the reason that I'm saying goodbye to the Pixel 8a, because I am going to be completely factory resetting this phone, and then I'm going to put it in the box. So I've recorded, as much, basically as much B-roll footage as I possibly can. Just to literally have like footage if I want to like tap in, on like a update review on the Pixel 8a. Plus, too, I also got my wife's Pixel 8a. Hers is the blue one, and she's like, you can use it when you need to use it for like a review or anything like that. No, nothing happened to the Pixel 8a. I'm giving it to my dad, so I'm giving him mine. And yeah, I just wanted to give the Pixel 8a its flowers before I send it off, because it's a really good phone. Honestly, it really is. There's a lot that I really like about the Pixel 8a. The size, how it feels in hand, the way that it looks, the curves, corners and everything, how it's curved and not, squarish. I mean, the move away from the, from like the more rectangular shaped Pixel 7a, moved over to like a curved, well, you can see it in the photo right here. I mean, that's pretty, pretty curved and everything like that. But, you know, um, I'm gonna miss it. I am, and it sounds so weird because it's like, you tell yourself and you're like, dude, it's just a phone. But I really enjoyed using it. I think that's what it is. The experience really sets in. I mean, I have other devices. I have the Pixel 9a, which is one of my secondary devices. I have the Pixel 10. That's my main daily driver device. So like I have like a lot of Pixel devices, right? So being a Pixel fan and what it means to be a Pixel fan, you kind of like take a step back and you're like, at the end of the day, these are just phones. I mean, if I really, really, absolutely had to have a Pixel 8a, like I said, I have my wife's, who would like literally wipe hers and let me use it because she's got the Pixel 9a that she predominantly uses. But then I also can just, I can just order and buy one through Google Fi. I think Google Fi still has them. It's so weird that Google Fi's pricing is still $4.99 for the Pixel 8a. I would have thought they would have dropped the price on it because the 9A is out, starting at $4.99. So I figured like, hey, you know what? Like, what's going on here? Google like dropped the price on the Pixel 8A, but nonetheless, I mean, yeah, it's staying in the family. It's going to my dad. My dad's gonna, he's gonna use it. Yeah. So let me wipe the phone. That way I can like put it back in the box. Like he's getting everything, the box and all. So it is on Android 16, KPR2 Beta 2, I believe. And where are you at? Reset options, factory reset everything. It's got 100% battery, so we're good. And erase all data. That made sure like all the stuff that was on it was backed up. So like, yeah, I'm wiping it now. And once it boots back on and it's back up to that setup screen, I'm going to power it back off, put it in the box. And then it's going to sit on my shelf until it's time to head over to my dad's at the end of the month with family, and family gets together, and then I'm going to gift my dad the phone. I originally was going to put, what's that one custom ROM? Can't even think of the name of it. Forgot what it's called. Oh my god, it's not it's not the one that I use. Like the one that I like. That's not something that my dad was interested in. But there was Graphene OS. I was gonna put that on there, but because of the future state of Android and what's going to happen to Android, I decided not to, because I just didn't want anything to, like, obstruct my dad being able to do what he's gonna do with his phone. So I just figured, just keep it on stock Android. The bootloader is unlocked, so I'll let him know about that when I give it to him. I do like the colors of the Pixel 8a. Yeah, the colors are pretty solid. I'm gonna really miss this color. If someone puts one up for sale down the future, then yeah, I probably might grab another one down the road. But I mean, my wife's one, hers is blue, and it's a really nice color too. So she's like, I could use it if I want to. Yeah, so it's fully wiped. Yeah, it's fully wiped right there, ready to go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and completely power it off. Box for it. It's gonna go back in the box. And I think it's also got the dongle as well, the little Type C to Type A dongle if he needs it. I don't know. Actually, I might just do that just for the hell of it. I know my dad knows it's not brand new. He knows he's getting another Pixel phone because he likes Pixels. Main reason that he does, reason that he likes the Google Pixels is just, he's completely memorized everything about the Pixel phone. So yeah, he doesn't want to have to like relearn something different. So, okay, so there we go. It's it's all back together. SIM ejector tools in there. The dongle popped off, but I'll just stick it back in its little tray. There we go. Phone on top of that. And voila, everything is back together. So, ready to go to its new home at the end of the month. Which, I mean, trust me, my dad's gonna enjoy this one because the battery on the Pixel 8a is like so much better than the 6a. And that's like one of the things that I think he'll find exciting is just like basically how much more screen on time he's gonna have. I mean, for those who don't really truly remember the the Pixel 8a's specs, right? I mean, they're right there on the screen for you guys. I'll make it bigger, right? 6.1 inch display, 20 by 9 aspect ratio, 1080 by 2400 OLED at 430 pixels per inch, smooth display up to 120 hertz, Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front. You got up to 2000 nits peak brightness, so it's got a nice bright display. I think my dad will enjoy that too, that he'll be able to see his screen underneath the sun. Yeah, 4492 milliamp hour battery, which I think I've reached close to 200 charge cycles with the Pixel 8a, so it may be a little less than 4492. You got wireless charging, you got fast charging. Mine was 128 gig. My dad doesn't store too much stuff on his phone, so he'll be fine with that. The Tensor G3 processor and cameras, right? 64 megapixel main camera, and then you got 13 megapixel ultra wide. So he'll have better cameras now, 13 megapixel selfie cam, so when he video calls, and then he'll have access to all these cool little things: magic editor, best take, magic eraser, photo blur, real tone, face blur, panorama, manual white balancing, locked folder, which he doesn't hide anything from my stepmom, so he's not even going to use that. Night sight, top shot, portrait mode, portrait light, motion autofocus, frequent faces. I mean, the list goes on, right? The list goes on. So, I mean, he's going to be able to take advantage of a lot of these things here, which I think, truthfully, I think he's kind of excited for. Like he thinks he's getting another Pixel 6a, but I'm pretty sure he knows I'm not just gonna dump him with the same phone that he's already had. Especially when the Pixel 6a, the Pixel 7a has had some issues with battery. That's not something I'm gonna put my dad into. Um, so yeah. Now he'll know because he'll probably see this later. But now he'll know he's getting the aloe green Pixel 8a in all of its glory, and I'm sure it's gonna serve him just as good as it's worked out for me. It is absolutely just an amazing phone. And at the end of the day, I mean, being a Pixel fan doesn't mean having every single Pixel in a collection for it. I mean, I don't. It's just, I guess it's maturing and growing up, right? Maybe my younger self would have been all about Pixels, so extreme that I would want a shirt that says Team Pixel on it. I would want a hat that says Team Pixel on it. Like, if I was in my 20s, I can see myself walking around with Pixel socks. You know what I mean? Like, just really liking the Pixel brand phones. Today, what it means to me is just me liking the phones and what they offer. But it's not like if someone tells me the Pixels suck, like I don't feel like I have to go and defend the Pixels. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's just pretty ignorant. I mean, they're just phones at the end of the day. And if I'm going to be telling people like they're just phones at the end of the day, in regards to what they would debate about, argue about, or whatever, then you know what? I can't just tell other people that it's just phones at the end of the day. I got to be about it too. It's like, what I use is what I use. I use other things outside of it. Like I use my Galaxy S21. I really like this phone. That's a non-Pixel phone. And then I got my OnePlus 9 and several other devices that I like to use from time to time. Nothing Phone 1. So, I mean, yeah. Of course, my main daily driver device has been serving me well as the Pixel 10, and I still enjoy using it. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing that I find to be, aggravating or any of that type of stuff, right? So if I was like to do a review, it's going to be a mostly positive review of the Pixel 10 because it's just been that good. Of course, I love some of the other things that you're able to do with it. And like the other things that I find really good are more Android based than just Pixel based. More in the sense of Gemini. So Gemini would be, the thing. Because there's a lot of fun AI features with Gemini. My mom used an iPhone 8, so I gotta find her a replacement. I might get her the iPhone SE3 since she's still used to the home button. Yeah, I mean that's one of the beauties of it. Now she's wanting to try an iPhone with Face ID and everything like that, but doesn't want to break a wallet. I mean, there's the iPhone 16e. That's pretty solid. You can even go with like older iPhones. Like I still use an iPhone 11 Pro Max. My daughter was using it for some time, and it was only because I was waiting until her birthday to give her the iPhone 12, and then her cinnamon roll case, because she's into cinnamon roll and Hello Kitty and all that. So she really loves her case, and like nonstop's just been like admiring it since it came in. It finally came in. Like, because I ordered a case for my Pixel 9a. Like, I just like having clear cases because you can just pretty much, if you want to see your phone but you want to keep it protected, right? A clear case is probably the best way to go, besides rocking it butt naked, just because, you have the protection of the case, but you can definitely see everything. I mean, except for this MagSafe ring around it, obviously, that's, kind of cutting in, but, same thing like with my Pixel 10. Like, people can see which Pixel 10 I have, what colorway I have, and everything. Clear case, So yeah, I mean, she's just been admiring her phone and everything like that. So now she's all happy and everything. She's got cinnamon roll. I'm like, man, oh man. Phone cases today. Because hers has like a little strap that connects to the case, so she can like pretty much wear her phone like a bag. I'm just like, you have to be careful that somebody doesn't just run by, grab it and pull and like breaks it. They won't break the strap, but I'm sure like the little links that connect to the case, that'll probably snap. So I'm just like, it is what it is on that. But what are you guys up to? This Sunday, there's not really much that I got to talk about, really, other than I've been testing Visible by Verizon on the Pixel 10, so I have both Google Fi and Visible installed on the Pixel 10, and then Metro by T-Mobile. I have it currently right now on the Galaxy S21. Before I go on a small vacation, I'm actually going to switch the SIM back over to the Pixel 9a. Because I know I'm going to be using my Pixels more than anything, like for photo, live streaming, and stuff like that while I'm back out there. Like I normally do when I go places, I tend to just like kind of give you guys a little insight as to what I'm doing and where I'm traveling to. And I'll let you guys just kind of like, go through the experiences that I'm going through. This time it's going to be a little bit more, interesting and exciting just because my older sister's coming. Like I talked to her, I think it was the day before yesterday, and confirmed with her that she is not backing out, that she's still going to fly out here. And then we're going to drive from here to my dad's. She has a fear of heights. I was telling her that, I wanted to take her hiking on North Mountain, which I did a couple of videos that you guys have seen with the Pixel 10, testing out the 20 times zoom camera. On that mountain, I want to take her to go hiking up it. And she was like, just asking all kinds of questions about the mountain. I'm like, it's a mountain. It's a mountain with a trail. Like, trust me, you'll be fine. You'll be safe. You'll be good. She can walk the exact trail that my kids walk, to be on the safer side, if she's afraid to look over the edge. I'm just like, I just want her to get the full-blown experience, And thankfully that she's coming at the end of the month, because like right now, like we had some rain from Hurricane Priscilla. Even though it's not a full-blown hurricane anymore, it dissipated, it reduced to a tropical storm. A lot of the rain hit us the last 2.5 days. And now we're about to get more because Hurricane Raymond is downgrading to a tropical storm, and that system is moving into Arizona and New Mexico. And so we're going to get battered by a couple of thunderstorms tomorrow. So hiking wouldn't be a thing that she'd be able to do with all that. I mean, I would go hiking in the rain, but her, I don't think she would. But anyways, if I was to name several things that, I find the Pixel 8a to be pretty good at, because I think I remember the very first month that the Pixel 8a was released, and a lot of the content that was really discussing the Pixel 8a back then was what was the purpose of the phone, right? Where you could do like the Pixel 8. I don't know if you guys hear my daughter yelling or whatever. I don't know what they're doing. They're probably playing Roblox or something. Oh yeah, that's right. They said they were going to play a Roblox game that was based off of Death Note. I don't know. These Roblox games are just crazy insane. But anyways, so that was like a lot of what content creators were talking about question-wise when it comes to the Pixel 8a. Almost everyone was just like, what was the purpose of this when you can get a Pixel 8? Like, go get a Pixel 8 over this, And I can tell you guys right now, like there is absolutely a reason why, cameras is definitely going to be it. Now, people are going to be like, well, the Pixel 7a has a 64 megapixel shooter, but there's a reason why I'm using the 7a as my webcam right now. And if you guys notice the quality of this, go back to some of my other live streams and then look at the quality of those videos, and the difference will tell you. For the past month, I was using the Pixel 8a as a webcam. So if the video quality looks better than what you guys are seeing right now, that's because of the Pixel 8a. And right now I'm using the Pixel 7a as my webcam. Eventually I'm going to use the Pixel 9a as my webcam, where every time I go live, I'll plug it in and set it up as a webcam and everything. But I wanted people to kind of see. So there was reasonings for the Pixel 8a to be around, and there was some good that came with the Pixel 8a. Well, majority of it seems very small increments of upgrades, right? The Tensor G3 processor, and, it still had the same plastic body build, and, it had better battery for sure. On top of that, people would just be like, oh, it's so close to the Pixel 8. But pricing was one of the biggest things. It was like getting a Pixel 8, at a slight discounted price, and having a body build of a phone that you could rock without a case. I mean, that was one of the things I really liked about the Pixel 8a, and that's one of the things I like about the Pixel 9a, is that you can rock these things without a case. it'd be totally fine. But me wanting to keep these things in like the best condition as possible, I wouldn't even want to drop it on the ground where I would scratch the paint, scratch, like the side rails and everything like that. Like that to me was just like, that would irk me. So that's why I like, I wrap them in a case, and I go clear cases because you can still see what the phone looks like with the clear case. So the Pixel 8a has its purposes. And obviously it came out later than the Pixel 8. So it is technically going to get one more additional software than the Pixel 8 when you think about the 7 years of support that it has. To me, while a lot of people were just kind of like crapping on the Pixel 8a, to me, the experience and what I was getting from it was just awesome. Yes, I know people are just like, well, what's so awesome about it? Pixel 7a has it, Pixel 6a has it, yada, yada, yada. But it's like, yes, while the software is pretty much like the same across all boards, but you can feel a slight difference in them, and that had to do with the processor, right? The Tensor G1 versus the 2 versus the 3, you're going to feel some differences, especially with Gemini Nano and AI processing and computing. You definitely feel a difference there. Like recently I was playing around with Google Photos, and the whole creation where you can remix your photos, you can turn it into like a sketch, you can turn it into anime style drawing, you can turn it into a cartoon like drawing. I've shared some samples on my Instagram, and I think I posted some on X. So if you guys want to see it, you guys can go see it. I love my kids. They're having a blast, and I'm not trying to stop them. I want them to enjoy their last day of fall break, because they go back to school. They go back to school tomorrow, and it's like I know they're dreading it. But anyways, So when you process these images, you can definitely feel a difference between like the Tensor G3 and what it's able to do, and the Pixel 8a versus the 7a versus the 6a. You definitely can feel a difference. That's not like a marginal difference, right? It's not like the 8a processed those images in like 10 seconds, and then the 7a with the G2 processed in 1 minute. It's nothing like that, but you can still kind of feel that one does processes those images a bit faster. And of course, by right, it should, right? The Tensor G3 should be, anywhere from a hair better to at least a marginally better processor than the G2 versus, and also from the G1. So, I mean, I get, I'm not trying to argue with anyone about it. Like, I get it. People were just like, oh, well, you can spend $100 more and get the Pixel 8. Yes, if all you're chasing is a glass phone. If glass phone to you makes the experience premium to you, then by all means spend $100 more. But if you wanted to save $100 and get everything the Pixel 8 was offering in the form of a cheaper phone, you would get it in the Pixel 8a, and you would save $100 instead of spending more. And today, saving $100 means a lot to a lot of people. We can't forget that. Not everybody is living in the same circumstances as everybody else. We're not identically, in wealth or anything like that. Some people are extremely wealthy. Some are wealthy. Some are, okay. Some are getting by. Some are in the rut, and some are, struggling royally. So we all come from different walks of life. So because some people can say, well, I can spend $100 and get the Pixel 8, that doesn't mean that everybody can spend $100 to get the Pixel 8. Some people got to save. So, that's why I don't want the A series to go away. The A series needs to be around a lot longer, because there is a slight rumor that the 10A is going to be the last A series. And I'm like, I don't know how to feel about that, because I remember them saying that the 9A was going to be the last one, but now we're already talking about the Pixel 10A. For me, I would just advise Google, keep going with the A series devices. They're really good, and there is a large following of A series users. There are a lot of people who would rather get the A series and save and get all the great treatments of what a Pixel phone would offer, including Gemini AI, and at the same time too, saving money on it makes sense to a lot of people. So you have that large following, don't abandon them. I know people are thinking that they will abandon them because, they released the Pixel 10, the Pixel 10 Pro, the 10 Pro XL, and the 10 Pro Fold. So people are like, that's a lot of hardware to release. So they might just get rid of the A series, but it's like, no, because this year, yes, The Pixel 10 has 3 camera sensors. We don't know if the Pixel 11 is going to have that. Maybe they decided to do a 3 camera, setup in the base Pixel 10 because it was the 10th anniversary of Pixel, right? It was 10 years of Pixel. So maybe they wanted to do something special for the 10, and maybe the 11 is going to go back to just 2 sensors, a main wide angle sensor and an ultra wide sensor. Maybe that's what they plan to do. Now, if they plan to continue on with giving like a smaller specced out telephoto, wide angle, and ultra wide angle sensors on the base model, and then going with a much higher premium sensor for the Pro models, I mean, I would say do that, because the 10A could be the one that keeps the, wide angle and ultra wide. And I know some people are going to find that to be annoying because people always want more for less, right? That's a lot of people's mentalities. Give me more and I don't want to pay more. So I'm sure people would argue the point that, oh yeah, the A series should get 3 cameras too. They should get a wide angle, ultra wide, and a telephoto. And, this is why, because I want it, but I want it cheaper, I get it. People want more, right? That's no one's ever about fairness and what's technically fair. People would just rather get more for less. If, it's the nature of things. So I do see how, there would be some who, that if the 10A was coming, they would expect it to have a triple camera setup. For me, in the interest of fairness, I would say a 2 camera setup, the same way as the 9A is, should be how the 10A is also. Maybe they can trade one of those sensors instead of an ultra wide, do telephoto. Hey, that's totally up to them. But I would say just keep it a 2 sensor one. That way the A series has a reason of being there. There's a reason to go for the base model if you want the additional camera sensor and make it a 3 camera sensor, for photography. But then if you really need that high res, just super quality photos, and you would go Pro with the Pro. And if you want a larger phone than what the Pro is, you would go with the Pro XL, right? So it would make sense to having all those. For the Fold model, if they're not going to give it the best out of the best camera sensors, in my opinion, they should not be calling it the Pro Fold. It should just be called the Pixel 10 Fold. So the Pixel 11 should just be the Pixel 11 Fold, unless they're going to give it the best of everything. Then you can call it a Pro. And I'm just being honest about it. Of course, I'll go further in a future video regarding the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. But yeah, I mean, that's just, that's my thoughts with the Pixel line. I'm a Pixel fan, but I like to think that I'm not an insane one that just thinks that everything that the Pixels has is just the best in the world and that they can do no wrong. That's not true. There are certain decisions that, what they do, what the Team Pixel people do, that just sometimes to me this doesn't make sense for the things that they implement and whatnot. The types of bugs that we get hit with from time to time. Some of them is understandable, right? You can't just say that it's going to be foolproof and that you would never have these bug issues at all whatsoever. We have to be honest. We got to call a spade a spade. So, yeah. I am the fan that likes Pixels. I'm just not oblivious to that they have issues. And I'm not oblivious that, iPhones have issues or Galaxies have issues. Every one of these companies produce phones, and those phones can sometimes have issues. I watch how they respond to those issues and how do they fix it and how long does it take them to fix it. That's how I judge a company by. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to come on here live real quick, chat with you guys, say what's up. I am going to go though. I didn't want to be on live too long, and we'll say goodbye to the Aloe Pixel 8A. It's going to my dad, but I still have the blue version, which is what my wife has as a secondary phone. And of course, I have the 9A, which, I give quite a bit of attention to, as well as my main device, the 10. So I just don't want the Pixel AA sitting around doing nothing. So, at this point right now, basically, my dad could actually enjoy it for himself and have a nice upgrade from the Pixel 6A, honestly. Thanks for checking out today's video. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be good. Be blessed. Be safe out there. Happy Sunday. And yeah, we'll get back on the grind with some more videos up this coming week. Now the kids are going back to school, and I'll have the time to start working on some more content besides live streaming. Some more videos coming your guys' way. But until then, I'll see you guys later.